Hi, everyone. I'm Consuela Pinto, and I'm president of the Women's Bar Association. Thank you for coming out tonight. I was a little worried when I was watching the snowfall last night that it might prevent many of you from making it here for this important program, so I'm glad you could all be here. This is really a very timely program. Just about, I think it was last week, the University of Albany SUNY Center for Women in Government and Civil Society issued a report on women judges, and it found that currently only 22% of all federal judges are women, and only 26% of state-level judges are women. And the report says that it's not, the lack of women on the bench really isn't an issue of women don't have the skills. There aren't enough women out there that are skilled attorneys. They credit a lack of opportunity and access as the reason for the lack of women on the bench. So tonight's program, the goal really is to demystify the nomination process and to provide an opportunity that sort of helps to fill that gap of opportunity and access. I'd like to thank a number of people who made this event possible. First, I'd like to thank one of my board members, Jill Dash, who put together this program with the assistance of the WBA's Executive and Judicial Endorsements Committee. And those co-chairs include Elizabeth Scully, Betsy Marvin, Lisa Joyner, and Cicely Basquier. I'd also like to thank Merrill Ladd for providing the videography for tonight's event. And I'd also like to thank our sponsor and our host this evening, Kirkland & Ellis LLP's Women's Leadership Initiative. And I'd like to invite Ellen Jakovic, a partner here at Kirkland & Ellis and also a past president of the WBA and a past president of the WBA Foundation, to come up and make a few welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Consuela. On behalf of Kirkland & Ellis and our Women's Leadership Initiative, I want to welcome you all here tonight. We're so pleased to host this program with the Women's Bar Association. We're delighted at the stellar panel we have here this evening. I know you're going to just have a terrific program, and we're very, very enthusiastic about partnering with the Women's Bar Association on this event. Those of you who are here probably are familiar with the Women's Bar Association. If you're not, it is a wonderful forum for an exchange of ideas and fabulous programs that can help you as a woman in the legal profession advance your career. So please look at the website and come to any other programs that strike your interest. You won't be sorry. You'll get a lot out of it. So thank you for coming this evening. We're delighted to host it, and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Ellen. You just covered a whole other section. With that, I'd like to introduce our moderator for this evening, Holly Loazo. Holly is the president-elect of the Women's Bar Association, as well as a litigation partner at Weil, Gotshal & Manges LLP in their complex commercial litigation and product liability practices. Holly has litigated and tried cases in a variety of substantive areas and industries. She has extensive experience litigating both large class action cases as well as multi-jurisdictional litigation matters. And she has advised clients in grand jury proceedings and congressional investigations as well. So if you'll join me in welcoming Holly.
Thank you very much, Consuela, for the introduction. And after hearing all of those things that I've done for the last 15 years at one firm, at Weil Gotshal, I like to remind people that my most important job is as wife and as a mom to two boys who are 7 and 10 who did not understand why I had to leave the snow, making the snowman to come out tonight. But they didn't know that the lineup that we have for you tonight, and they didn't quite understand that. I want to also thank the Executive Judicial Appointments Committee of the Women's Bar Association, which presented this panel and put this fabulous panel together. And I also like to thank our co-sponsors, the American Constitution Society, National Association of Women Judges, and the National Association of Women Lawyers. Jumping right into our panel this evening, I'd like to make some introductions, and then we'll hear from our panel. But as with most Women's Bar Association events, we want to make this interactive, and we want to make it a great resource for all of you who have come out and have been our intrepid travelers tonight. So please feel free to ask questions of the panel, and we'll have a section after some of the prepared questions to do that. I'm going to introduce our panel now, and I will begin right here to my right with Judge Brenneman. Judge Brenneman is a magistrate judge on the Superior Court of the District of Columbia, and she was appointed to that position in 2004. And I will move to Judge Hovell. Judge Ellen Siegel Hovell was appointed to the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia in October 1999. Prior to that, Judge Hovell was an associate judge of the D.C. Superior Court from 1990 to 1999. To the right is John Bowker. John is a partner in the law firm of Arent Fox, LLP, where he is the co-manager of the firm's government relations practice. Also relevant to our discussion this evening, John is a member of Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton's Federal Law Enforcement Nominating Commission, which recommends candidates for the U.S. District Court and U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as other federal agencies. Moving down our panel is Judge Anna Blackburn Rigsby, Associate Judge, District of Columbia Court of Appeals. Judge Blackburn Rigsby was appointed to the D.C. Court of Appeals in August of 2006. Prior to that, she served as an Associate Judge of the Superior Court of the District of Columbia from 2000 to 2006, and as a Magistrate Judge on the Superior Court from 1995 to 2000. Next, we have Wilma Lewis, who is the Assistant Secretary for Land and Minerals Management, U.S. Department of the Interior. Previously, Ms. Lewis served as the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia and Inspector General at the Department of Interior. Also, Ms. Lewis previously served on the D.C. Judicial Nominations Commission. And last but not least, Grace Bates is a partner at the law firm of Morgan, Lewis & Bockius, where she is managing partner of the Washington office, chair of the complex employment litigation practice, and co-chair of the firm's diversity committee. Grace is a current member of the D.C. Judicial Nominations Commission, and I'm not sure how she was able to join us tonight with all of those titles, and she probably has to go back and do something more tonight. This evening's panel is timely for at least two reasons. One that Consuela mentioned, which is the study that came out last week from the University at Albany Sunny Center for Women in Government and Civil Society, that announced the results of a study showing that women are still underrepresented on the bench. And what we want to do tonight is, probably through our discussion, talk a little bit about the reasons for that underrepresentation and what we think are the strategies for success for changing that. And that's something that's near and dear to our hearts as a women's bar association. The second reason is that on Monday, the D.C. Judicial Nomination Commission announced that it had sent to the White House the names of 6 candidates to fill 2 vacancies on the D.C. Superior Court. So the members of the panel who are on or have been on that commission and the members of the panel who have been selected as judges on the Superior Court can discuss with us just what goes into that process. So we'll begin with our judges. So for the judges on the panel, I'd like you to tell us about your career path and your individual experiences in becoming a judge. And specifically, I think we'd like to know, when you decided to pursue a position as a judge, what went into your decision making at that time, what professional experiences helped prepare you for the position, and what kind of networking did you do? What extracurricular activities did you participate in, and how were those factors in the process of you becoming a judge? And I'll begin with Judge Blackburn Rigsby.
Well, can you repeat the question? No, just kidding. Good evening, and I want to say thank you to the Women's Bar Association for putting together this panel. It is a pleasure to be here with all of my fellow panel members, and